Hare Krishna. So we come to the last verse in our meditation on the Suchitutashtakam. Arunam nayanam charanam vasanam vadane skhalitam swakanamadharam kurute surasam jagata jivanam pranamami sachi sutta gauravaram. So Arunam nayanam charanam vasanam. So Aruna refers to the sun. Now just as the sun has many names. Now there is Ravi, there is Bhaskara, there is Surya, and these different names, when one object has many different names which have more or less similar meanings, they are called as synonyms. But normally, whenever there are synonyms, not even if there are two words which have very similar meaning, there are shades of meanings, and there are differences in the shades. So Aruna refers to the sun, but special aspect of the sun, that is the rising sun. The sun which is blazing overhead at noon, that may be illuminating, but that is not very soothing or very attractive. The sun which is rising early in the morning, that is soothing, that is warming, it is illuminating, it is charming. Nobody says that, oh, the midday sun is so attractive. Yes, it is important, but so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's beauty is like that rising sun. Arunam, and is described Nayanam Charanam Vasanam. So his eyes are charming, attractive, reddish, like that rising sun. Along with that, Charanam, his feet are also like that. And the dress that he wears is also like that. Vadane skhalitam swakanamadharam. Vadane skhalitam. That means that when he is singing his own holy names, the ecstasy that comes up because of chanting of the holy names is so overwhelming that he can no longer contain his ecstasy, and because of this ecstasy his words start becoming unclearly expressed. It is especially mentioned that Lord Chaitanya would dance in front of Jagannath, and he would want to say Jagannath, but ja ga 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 he would say, and not be able to complete the name also. So stammering at the level of a small baby is because of inability to pronounce. Stammering in the case of people who have a habitual stutter, who have difficulty to speak, that is because of some karmic consequence, and they have not been given that ability. But stammering, when it is the result of an overflow of intense devotion, that stammering is not childishness, that stammering is not a result of any bad karma, that stammering is an ornament. It indicates that the normal bodily faculties which are under the control of a person, the devotion becomes so overwhelming that one loses control over those bodily faculties. So vadane skhalitam swakanamadharam. So normally when we lose control of our bodily faculties, when we are not able to enunciate what we want to say, then that is a source of embarrassment. But when that happens in the service of the Lord, when that happens due to an ecstasy of devotion, then it is supremely attractive. Kurute surasam jagata jivanam. That overwhelming ecstasy awakens the sweetness of devotion. Kurute surasam. Surasam, very, very sweet rasa. And that is that the nectar of devotion is the life of the whole universe. Jagata jivanam. That actually this nectar of devotion is what brings life to all life. Now there is life which is there throughout the existence, but that life is ultimately doomed to death. Everything that is living will ultimately have to die. Jatasya dhruvo mrityur, Krishna says in 2.27 in the Bhagavad Gita. But when there is devotion that is brought into the life, then that life doesn't terminate in death. That life becomes a transition which transports a person to the eternal level of existence. So in this material world, life is filled with misery. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy comes into the life of a soul, then that mercy, what does it do? Kurute surasam. It makes the life in this world itself joyful. And after that, it makes the life in this world in such a way that one molds one's life in the service of the Lord, and by that, one attains eternal existence eventually. Jagata jivanam. So the purpose of all of existence is fulfilled when there is devotion. Without devotion, all of existence is just a journey to destruction, is a journey to the graveyard. But with devotion, life in this world becomes joyful and it has a joyful conclusion. And that is the supreme mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he offers us he transforms this miserable material existence into a joyous spiritual existence. And that's why in the Chaitanya Manjusha, Prabodhananda Saraswati says that the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that et karunya kataksha vaibhavatam. That when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu casts his side glance, then what happens? Vishwam Purnam Sukhayate. That normally the nature of this material existence is dukkha lemashashvatam, is filled with misery. But when the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifests, then this whole universe becomes Vishwam Purnam Sukhayate. It becomes filled with happiness. What is that happiness? It is not that birth, old age, disease, death will not be there. It is not that adhyatmik, adhibhautik, adivik tap will not be there. They will be there. But in the heart, the devotee connects with Krishna and experiences a far deeper, sweeter, richer happiness, which makes these pleasures, which makes material miseries irrelevant. And that is the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the descent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gaur Purnima, and the glorification of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as is done in Sachittashtakam, enables us to develop faith in the supreme mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and become attracted to that mercy, and thereby eventually become the recipients of this mercy and live as happily as is possible in this material existence, and ultimately return back to Krishna for eternal blissful spiritual existence. Thank you very much. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Sarvam Bhattacharya ji ki jai. Shri Sachittashtakam ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.